I swear to Christ, this war is never going to end. Hello and welcome to Civil War in Hindsight. I'm Lieutenant Tommy. With me, as always, is Prospector Johnny. And Johnny, that
good news
did not go as planned.
What do you mean?
Or well. We did not end this war. The Battle of Fredericksburg
did not
was
end it.
not a resounding success. This war
but I thought we were set up pretty.
Never going to end.
Is it because of the bridges?
That didn't help anything. Waiting on those bridges for a month definitely
forever
did not help.
So Fredericksburg went the way of the South, I assume?
Yeah. So let's get into it, Johnny. On the 12th, Burnside spends the day moving the Grand Right and Grand Left divisions across the bridges into Fredericksburg, gets them there successfully. Jackson himself is now going to arrive and has Early and Hill join him on the Confederate right, extending the Confederate line through the ridges that ran behind the city. So now you delayed long enough that the entire Confederate army in Virginia area underneath Lee's command is, Lee, Longstreet, Jackson, they're all there.
And we could have attacked earlier if we just walked across the river.
When it was just Longstreet in Fredericksburg.
Just got some wet clothes, dried them out over a fire, whatever. No big deal.
Yeah, we didn't do that.
And we didn't do that, and so now we have to fight everybody.
Yep. It's obvious that the 13th is going to be the Battle of Fredericksburg. Out near Vicksburg, the USS Cairo is going to hit a mine and sink. So that's also not good news. But the silver lining there is that nobody gets hurt. They all get off the boat fine. The boat just down in the Mississippi. So
all right. So we have one fewer of our mini ships because we still have whole Navy.
Many ships to the Confederates.
How are you doing, Confederacy?
Yeah,
got some
they're one pirate ship out in the Atlantic
boat.
Yeah,
taking over merchant vessels. Cool. Yeah, you do you, dicks.
They got their pirate. They got their pirate boat. And Lincoln is going to write a letter to Mayor Fernando Wood in New York, saying that, and I quote, "The war would cease on the part of the United States if the Southern states would cease resistance to national authority." Yeah, no shit, Lincoln. That's the pure definition of a war is that you've got two sides that are not refusing to not fight. So
he's like, hey, if you guys would like to go ahead and unsecede and start being part of our country again, totally cool. Ending this war about you seceding.
Yeah.
Am I missing something? Like what?
No, that's exactly that's it. That's the letter. It's like he's assuring the New York governor, hey, look, listen. I don't want this war. I will stop this war if they stop fighting and listen to me.
If you'll just surrender, you'll just quit. You give up, and I'll end this war. I mean, you go ahead and you come back. Bring all our states. You all start listening to me again. Listen to all of my semi-dictatorship decrees, and no worse than what your little fake president's doing.
Yeah, he's doing the same thing. No, So do not get me wrong. Trader President Davis is doing the same. Yeah, he's doing the same.
Oh yeah.
Doing the same stuff.
But now we have a legitimate president. You could have a legitimate president doing it, not some fake ass president like Trader President Davis.
Yep. And Johnny, it's the 13th. It's the Battle of Fredericksburg.
And here we go.
For the Union once again proves that numbers mean nothing if you squander opportunities. And if you want a more detailed account, I will put a link to our special episode on the Battle of Fredericksburg. It's a long one.
I'll save you some time.
Super details.
I'll save you some time. We won, but then we didn't chase him. Right?
Not quite.
Then no.
This is more. We won, and then we didn't provide reinforcements. So then we lost on one flank, and on the other flank, we just sent. That one we just. Damn it, Johnny. Let me get into it. So we start off every battle up to this point the very same, where we decide that Jackson is our guy that we want to hit first. So we go and attack Jackson's troops.
Get after it.
in the hillside behind Fredericksburg on the Confederate flank. It actually goes pretty okay for the North underneath Meade and Gibbon, who break Jackson's line and get on top of the hill. And then we don't send Meade and Gibbon any reinforcements.
We don't keep pursuing because
Jackson rallies. And now Meade and Gibbon are forced to go back to their original positions, and that end of the battlefield is completely death for no reason. Like, we just killed people for nothing. Nobody gained anything. Nobody lost anything. Just death.
Yeah, sounds like a lot what I said.
For no reason. And then we decide to attack the right and center divisions of the Confederate Army underneath Longstreet's positions at Mayor's Height, where they are behind a sunken road with a stone fence in front of it. That's their first line of defenses, and then immediately behind that, up on an elevated position on the hills, is Longstreet's second line of troops, which can easily fire over that first line and into any oncoming troops. And then beyond them are cannons that are on a even more elevated position that can shoot over the second and first line, and then into any Union troops that come up. And then those Union troops have to cross.
So it sounds like they're well fortified.
They're well fortified in there.
They got their shit figured out here.
You could look across the battlefield and go, that's probably not the smartest place to hit.
And so of course we said, full speed ahead.
That's what we did.
Right into
and then the Union troops have to go through obstacles like go around buildings where they're still under artillery fire and infantry fire the entire way. They got to go over a creek, which we already talked about, the bridges over the river being a problem. So but now we're okay with getting our feet wet to go assault a very defensible position. So they got to go do that.
Rivers and creeks are different, Tommy. They're different. They present different challenges. I have a creek in my backyard now, and I can cross it pretty easy. Not even get my feet wet. Just step across. Quick step. Boop.
Well, it's a little bit bigger creek than what you got in your backyard there, Johnny. You're going to get your feet wet.
Oh.
It is cold. Very cold.
Sure. Yeah, it's
hence why you got your hat on. And instead of sending a whole division at once, we're going to send a brigade of that division at a time, where they get cut to hell.
Oh, that's right. It's this one. We're like, this is our definition of insanity battle.
Yeah, where they get cut to hell.
We send a brigade. It doesn't work. We send another one.
We send another brigade. It doesn't work. We send another brigade. It doesn't work. We send another brigade. It doesn't work. So that division's worn out.
Yeah.
So then we're going to send another division who does the exact same thing. And then we're going to send another division that does the exact same thing. And now that fourth division was supposed to go around the flank and hit them from the side, but instead they decided to do the exact same thing that the other three divisions do. And
I can't believe it didn't work.
So what I don't understand is we gained ground.
I've always heard fourth time is the charm.
Confederate left, gain ground. We actually took the heights.
Got it.
All we needed to do is send another division, or even the rest of that division, the other two brigades in that division.
Continue on.
And it would have been fine.
Continue pressing.
But we don't.
Not gonna do
and
it.
instead we're like, hey, this area that looks even more defensible, we'll hit that instead with everything else that we got. So
slowly.
And slowly, not a charge. This is a slow meandering in gunfire.
A little bit at a time. Just we don't want to charge with more people than they have bullets for. At a time.
To make matters worse, the wounded and the troops that just not even wounded but can't back. Like, I'm going to lay down where I'm at because if I stand up, I'm going to get shot. All those troops are going to be kind of left on the battlefield at night, with no means of getting back, because,
So how many froze to death?
Gonna get shot, and then they don't have, it's a battle, so they're not carrying their full kit with them, so they don't have like they ditch everything that's not necessary, so they left their blankets behind. So now you've got guys. Imagine going outside right now, go out tonight, and just lay in the field with the clothes on your back.
I plan on doing that, but in front of a very large fire that's super warm.
No fire.
I'm going to do that. I'm going to not die of hypothermia
then you're wounded.
or freezing.
and then you're wounded.
Yeah,
too,
also
on
a
top
sprained
of that.
ankle, twisted knee, shot in the leg, shot in the arm. Who knows what else? Maybe you just tripped into like a friggin' bramble bush and you're all sliced up from thorns. Who knows? But in any case, You're gonna die.
You're gonna die, Johnny. The casualty reports here on this fucking
here we go.
Just clusterfuck. Union's going to lose 1,284 killed, 9,600 wounded, 1,769 missing or captured, for a total of 12,653 of the 122,000 men. This is actually a larger casualty
10%.
loss than at Antietam. Slightly larger, not a lot, but slightly larger than what we lost at Antietam, which was considered.
I mean, over 1,000 dead
blunder.
is a lot of times these casualty reports are like, 100 dead and like 28 billion wounded or whatever. This is over 1,000 just dead.
And just shy of 10,000 wounded.
Slowly into gunfire and cannon fire and just lined them up.
Yep. Versus the Confederates, 595 killed, so half
Not even.
killed. 4,061 wounded, so well less than half there. And 653 missing for 5,309 of their 78,000 men. This was a very lopsided loss. There's nothing redeemable. This was stupid.
There's no silver lining.
This is stupid. On the 14th, the North and the South are both kind of in shock at what just transpired. Lee himself was like, man, I wish they would just kind of leave us alone because clearly it's not working. Why do you keep sending people? It's not working. Stop. Please stop. I don't want. This is murder. It's murder.
They wanted to stop killing people. So maybe they win. Maybe maybe they get their country. Maybe, right?
Burnside.
What's the harm? What if we just give it to them? Just let them have it.
Yeah. Well,
you know what? Go ahead and see if you can survive.
On the morning of the 14th, Burnside actually wants to do a follow-up assault, wants to do resume attacks, and as much of a blunder as the first day was, I mean, you made progress on the Confederate left. You made progress on the Confederate left. Hit them on the left. They're weaker on the left. Put your forces in there. Actually reinforce when you take the hill. This battle is still feasible. I mean, yes, we did lose. Okay, we did lose. We'll call it even 12,000 men. We still have 108,000 left ready to fight.
Right, we can lose 12,000 men another 8 times.
They
9
lost
times, maybe
5,000 men.
8 times,
and so they're down now to just over 70,000 men. So we still have a numerical advantage.
Right? Yeah. If you just take into consideration no level of humanity and no value of human life, all we have to do is keep on sending brigade after brigade to this point, and eventually they run out of ammo, and then we overrun them with the last 10,000 of our 100,000 men, and we win this battle. And all we have done in the meantime is lost, 90,000 men? Big whoop. I mean, who cares about them, right?
The war still could have been over. But
sorry about all of you motherfuckers. You're dead.
But Burnside's generals, his underlings, were like, nah, nobody's really got the will to keep fighting after yesterday.
After watching 12,000 people die and get injured, they're discouraged.
Now, Lee himself is going to come under scrutiny from the South for not counterattacking, which that's stupid because had Lee counterattacked, he would have been in the same position that we were in, and he does not have replaceable troops. So part of me wishes he would have counterattacked because
also I'm pretty sure this is the war of northern aggression. And so why would he have counterattacked it? The southern states and southern military were never aggressive. They were purely defending. So that would have been
over
out
the
of
night,
character.
Burnside is going to pull. Yeah, right? It would have been out of character.
For the South.
Over the night, Burnside is going to pull his entire forces back across the Rappahannock, where Lincoln calls a meeting of his advisors because his new golden child turned out to not be so great.
Yeah. It turns out he's kind of a bad judge of character. A little bit of a bad manager here. This is
not a bad. Whoa, Johnny, you're flirting with risking getting hung there, calling Lincoln not a good manager. You're flirting with.
Whoa. Let me. You're right. Let me rephrase that. He's exactly the type of manager you would expect a person who wants to be a dictator to be.
Still flirting with that line, but we'll go.
Not great. Still not great? Okay.
Still not great.
He hires shitty people. Please don't hang me.
Yeah. On the 15th, the withdrawal is complete, but it appears neither army is actually moving any farther, with both sides setting up defensive positions across the Rappahannock. So we are now back into the stalemate that we were in when McClellan was looking at Lee across, Richmond. So we're like doing that again, I guess, for the next few months. Although it's cold, so at least, screw it. Pitch up your winter quarters and get warm, I guess.
Yeah, and be glad you're not one of the 12,000 casualties from the Union side during this meaningless battle.
Yeah, because nobody gained any ground, nobody lost any ground. This was like blood for blood. Like, this was just killing for killing. No point or reason to it. Nathan Bedford Forrest on the 15th is going to leave Columbia, Tennessee, with 2,500 men to harass Grant's telegraph lines to try to distract him from Vicksburg and to cut off his communication with Buell. So,
no. Shit. Okay.
Nathan Bedford Forrest is going out and doing a righty, shooty, bang, bang, I guess. On the 16th, both armies, that's the Lee's army and Burnside's army, are still looking at each other across the river, while Lincoln is going to postpone the executions of those Sioux that we talked about last week.
Okay.
But notice I said postpone and not,
postpone so that he can later exonerate them and not. Yeah. Or is he postponing it so that he can be in attendance?
I guess he's what he's wanting to do.
Does he want to watch?
It's so close to Christmas. Why would we want to? We don't want to deprive these guys of their last Christmas, so we'll let them have their last Christmas and then immediately hang them. And by immediately hang them, I mean the next day, the 26th. That's their new scheduled date for execution. So he gives them another week.
Now, obviously, the natives here are famous for celebrating Christmas.
Yes, very famous.
On account of their forced Christianity conversion and misunderstanding of being baptized for just regular bathing, which they did and we didn't. And so they're happy to. They let them go home with their families and celebrate under their Christmas tree.
Oh God!
They sang Yule tides. What did we let them do? No, we just starved them for an extra day before we killed them.
Pretty much. Yep.
Cool.
Pretty
great. That's
much.
Merry Christmas. We're gonna forget all about you.
Johnny, buckle up for this one. On the 17th, General Grant is going to issue General Order Number 11, where, and I quote here, the Jews, as a class violating every regulation of trade established by the Treasury Department and also the Department of Orders, are hereby expelled from the department within 24 hours from the receipt of this order. So I feel like this might not have been the best order that Grant has ever given. So what is going on here?
Every one of the Jews is responsible for this.
Yes.
Just top to bottom. So, just your neighbor down the street is.
So what Grant
doing?
Is,
what now? What is he? What are they? Yeah. What's the problem here?
So Grant is facing a particular situation in his army where there are illegal speculators that are coming to his army selling him illicit goods at marked up prices. So you want some chicken eggs, $50 for a dozen. And that's illegal, and you can't do that.
Price gouging.
There are also speculators.
He has people price gouging them.
Yeah, he's got price gougers that are gouging prices in the local towns that he's around in his zone of operations, and he is also fearing that these price gougers are potential spies. Which, to be fair, there were a few spies amongst this group of individuals. Now,
and so that means, of
miscategorizes
course, given the American way of thinking that there are spies, they are Jewish. All the Jewish are spies.
Yeah, that's
what we do.
Yeah, that's the dots that Grant connected.
Bang, 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 and beep, and there you got Orion's belt. Like, it's just that easy, folks, to make a line.
Yeah, that's what Grant did.
And so,
yeah,
I'm gonna break the fourth wall. We're not really in the 1800s Holy shit! The Jews never had it good, did they?
No, they
Whew!
did.
Sorry to your people.
Not the Jewish people. Jewish people,
My
Johnny,
goodness.
have not.
Just wrong
had
end
it.
of the stick.
The whole,
Every step of the way.
the whole, all of it. Yeah.
I mean, if
Never
they weren't
been.
white, they would have gone the way of the natives.
Probably.
Like some of them.
No,
I realize there are
no,
some
no.
that are not white, but you get what I'm going with.
Yeah, I get where you're going with. And thankfully,
Just
Johnny,
horribly
this long
racist,
week.
terrible joke is what I'm doing here. So
Yeah, this
you can
this
cut it if
long
you
week. And I'm not. This long week is
Maybe
going to
cut
come
it.
to an end, Johnny, on the 18th. But unfortunately, not good news as Forrest, ninth in Bedford Forrest, defeats Union Cavalry at
shit.
Lexington, Tennessee. And remember, Johnny, like a month ago, Lincoln ordered McClernand to build an army to take Vicksburg. Well, that army has now made it
been built.
as the 13th U.S. Corps and has been folded underneath Grant's command because, well, that pissing match got settled, and Grant is going to take command of them, and then still, I guess, roundabout, they're going to try to take Vicksburg, so still sort of following Lincoln's orders, at least in a roundabout way.
Okay.
We'll see how that plays out. But you know what? Screw this. The war's never going to end. This year's a wash. Hopefully next year will be a little bit better for the North, but I highly doubt it.
Sorry to all the folks who had their children die. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. That's it for this week in Civil War in Hindsight. If you enjoy Civil War in Hindsight, check out Historic Hindsight, where Lieutenant Tommy goes on random rants about how the Zune was the best thing in the world, or how Walt Disney is the devil.